Hello all, this is Zimnala coming at you with a new adventure in my game of Demise, Rise of the Kutan, and we're going to be picking up where we left off. So I've made a few minor changes. I have basically decided to start integrating my map with what we have going on, and basically when my map's not there, if I decide to switch back, I might, but for now that's where it's going to live, and you guys will be able to see that over there, and I'll be able to do other stuff perhaps. But I'll be able to expand it, and I'll have to get used to playing like that. But it might be easier for people to follow than in the middle. We'll see. But yeah. Basically have to see what we have going on. So I did go through all the music in between my play sessions, and I actually took out the tracks I didn't like from the rotation. I also looked into what all the other ones were from. They're songs from Mordor 1 and Mordor 2, and the expansions I didn't play. And I'm gonna guess that maybe some of the musical tracks are normally things that play in areas I haven't met in the new zones. That's my guess. Yeah, not maintenance is done. Let's take a look at what we got going on. So I've been leveling up Barbarian with our Oni just to get them some more backstab while the other ones catch up to getting some levels in Warrior with our human. Still powering through Paladin with my elf so they'll get some fighting abilities, and yeah, the dwarf is leveling up too with their warrior. So across the board we're gaining strength again, and with 3 of our characters fighting proud. I'm gonna keep the elf up front so they gain experience first. Got my my human also up there trying to burn off their penalty, but other than that I think things are how they want them to be, and I'll just return whenever we get pinned. Like, exploring this is just gonna take time. That's all. That's what this game is. It's a long form adventure, you know. So you can't rush your way through. And that's all there is to it. Yeah, basically I just need to tweak like how the map is oriented. That's what it is. So, if I take a few moments to try to sort that out, don't mind me. It involves dragging around multiple windows, and it's a bit of a pain, but hopefully once I get it set, I won't have to do it all every time. So I'm gonna actually topped off. And if it seems like too much work, I can switch back. Like, I didn't, like, lose anything on that, but that's not normally how I play it, but it could be useful if I get used to a new style, you know? There we go. Got the full gambit on everyone. Make sure this thing is still moving correctly.
Cool. 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 Cool.
I also think it's pretty funny that most of the people that had trouble with this was actually our humans. And then eventually the dwarf got there, but the paladin was just fine. That's pretty funny.
Cool. Cool.
The whole group of soldiers. Oh, Deathly Chills? I don't actually think I have that one. I think that's just a more advanced ice spell, like the advanced fire spells we got. So I guess that's cool. Oh, you pain. What a pain. Let's clear up here, and then I'm gonna return to town to let me actually check on my map situation as well.
Cool.
It's probably easier to return to town than it is to just recast all of our nonsense back. Well, actually, it might not be too bad. I think I do have resources, so let's not give up at one. What happens again, though? We'll probably be pinned really fast regardless. That's why I'm like, it doesn't matter too much. We were already more than halfway there. That's probably fine.
Cool. Another copy of the teleport. Oh, that's funny. Cool.
That's another copy of the destroy container spell that only leaves me wearing. Oh, wow. I actually thought
Cool.
that we would be the one that pinned first on this door. It just goes to show you how crazy the Oni is. The Oni managed to hog all the experience again. What a shock. That'll be 2 of us pinned soon, and then we will return.
Cool.
Bam, bam. While I'm standing on this safe square, I am going to adjust the window of the map, maybe making it a little smaller will be more manageable for me and for you guys. I don't think I need it to be quite as large as I made it. So, let's, you're not gonna let me resize this, right? Maybe it will. Well, I did make it a little smaller. Let's see what happens if I make it smaller yet. And try to move. And resize on me. It's gonna move around on me. Oh, nope, it didn't like that. See, the map screen is actually pretty weird, unfortunately, and there's only so much I can do about it. Okay. I tried wrangling it around on my end. Can't really be done. Understood. What can I do with it then? Well, there are some options. I could move this top. If I move it beneath my screen, I'll only be able to see a certain portion of it. That could be more manageable. Nope, didn't like that. Map is super weird. That's all I can tell you. Trying to move it around and stuff, it's quite a pain. But it's okay. I mean, normally it's fine, but when you like manually like expand it and move it around, looking around at it is pretty tricky. We've got quite a few tomes to turn in eventually when we switch to Sorcerer. Fortunately they did expand the number of inventory slots you have, so as you can see it's actually not a problem to have them. It just makes moving things around a little inconvenient sometimes. We definitely are not utilizing most of them, so it's really fine. we just got our guild crest for the barbarian. What a treat. We've been given the required level 55 quest for barbarian. Muldan approaches you. Do you have any idea how much I loathe cowards? You stand your ground as he gets in your face. That is why I want you to go down and kill one or more Norns. Do this in return, and I have an item for you that will help with your treasure collecting. He then walks off. You must defeat one Norn. What's going on with this? Oh, it's just a good defensive one. It lets us cast magical entry for free, which isn't too bad, but other than that, it's a good stat boost, so we'll just take that at face value and put that to good use. So we have to go kill a Norn. We know where those are. It's a little out of where I want to go, but it's fine. Got halfway to the level up on this character. Yeah, let's go track down our Norn. Just to get it done. We'll make that a separate trip to our normal dungeoning, so we don't actually need to do anything too fancy. Yeah. Guess as long as that's the one place I want my map to be, my game is fine with it. And I can work with it. Yeah, Norns are down on level 5. Layered monster right here. There we go, we're set for adventure. Yeah. I will certainly become more used to utilizing that this way. So the primary way I use to get around the dungeon is using the map. Looking at the screen, it can be fun when you want to see the scenery, but the map is far easier to get around with. And the visual is still helpful in a different way in that it actually lets you see what kinds of monsters are ahead, even if you can't necessarily tell what they are, unless you can visually determine it. It at least gives you an educated guess.
Cool. Cool.
Hmm. Game decided to pick up for a second, but we will. It has never really liked trying to sort out different areas of this.
Cool.
Okay, we're gonna come in here. I am going to use magic. Wow, you definitely shredded them. We will fix that. Mages in here are actually somewhat nasty, so if they get you with the right elements, you can have a pretty rough time. Let's give that another try. That is, of course, the call to keep leveling up sorceress, but I mean, we also we're still making that judgment call on. So we can actually put them up front. I think that will enable us to basically power into that area. Like, the Oni is just really strong. We did it. That is a tough encounter, though. That means that we're kind of getting to the point where we can do that. So, that's cool. Back. This area didn't properly restart. That happens when you close the game and it hasn't finished properly. It can take like a cycle or two to actually reset itself. Don't worry about it. Go hunt somewhere else and it will fix itself. You can manually reset it if for some reason it ever completely flops on you, but usually don't need to do it that way. Somewhat loosely based on like your computer clock, so like if you happen to restart the game at like the right moment, it might take quite a while before it actually repopulates. It's kind of like a complex system I never fully pinned down, but like if you just go through multiple floors, you usually don't worry about it too much. The only time you'll likely ever come across it is if you like have to start the game and you don't have the capacity to like explore more than one floor. get stuck just clearing floors 1 and 2 and pretty sure if we come over here to fight the Ogre Lord, we're gonna pin like probably all the way to them with the Ogre, so. Basically where we're gonna return is where the Oni pins, because might will be level efficiently.
Cool.
I believe that is for Magi as well.
Cool.
No one else is really all that close to being at the point of level, so it's a good time to return. Well done with the Norn, tough boy. Muldan grins and grabs a bag hanging nearby. We had a fight with an ogre yesterday. Not a worthy opponent to my taste. He wasn't very aggressive once we started cutting him into little bits. What a coincidence. I was just fighting an ogre. I'm not very impressed by that. He throws the bag at your feet. Puzzled, you open it and discover one of the ogre's hands with a gleaming ring on one of the fingers. Seeing your astonishment, Muldan starts laughing and explains, "If you can get it off, it's yours." He walks away, still giggling. After a few minutes of struggling, the finger finally breaks off with a creepy noise. "The ring is yours! Huzzah! So much ring. What a prize." Oh, we got second level. Bam. Getting a little closer with this character. Oh, it's actually on 3, which I don't actually know. Well, we'll keep that in mind. I think it must be a Morkel spell, but almost all the tree tises are Morkel spells. Which most of them have reasons why they're really not that useful overall, but yeah, I can't use this on most of my characters, but eventually we will be able to. Now let's take a look at what our goals for levels are. It's been a little bit since I had last played, so the next up for this is level 119. Oh boy, that's gonna be a bit. 021. Is there a better option in this? No, this is not better. Well, there might be better options than that slot. To be fair, let's take a peek around again. So 77. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it for a hot minute. Alright, that's all I wanted to know. We are ready for adventure. Now, if eventually you actually manage to level up Explorer enough, you could in fact just open into the dungeon, cast a teleport spell, and be wherever you want to be, but as explained, you have to be like so careful with that. You get like one square off, like say you're going for this teleporter, but 2 squares around it are actually death. Like that object next to it, and the square behind it, so you have to be so precise. That's why I try to give myself leeway, like I'm teleporting in the middle of the area, like that way if I accidentally type one number off, we're still fine. At some point you have to decide the level of adventure you want to be on. Not every run has to be a life or death gamble on whether you remembered the right numbers. Another weapon. Let's see what this one is. Maybe it's not a unique weapon, but let's take a look. I thought it might have been a one-time drop, but no, this is something new actually. Look at that. We got a new weapon. Alright, well I'm curious on what that could be. I don't recognize it. Looks like a staff. What's with these big-ass snakes? You are not Slithers. Don't believe it. Deadly Anaconda, okay. So deadly. It's spitting. They're anaconda all over the place. be a pretty rough warrior though, but we're mostly warriors, we'll be fine. The Oni actually counts as a warrior even when he's not a warrior. I'm just gonna put that out. When he's a warrior, he's extra warrior. It's always good to have a bruiser in the back. That's my strategy for multi-party groups. In the future, I'm probably going to do a second series on this. Maybe not immediately after this one, where I do just a solo character. Which is a much different experience than what we're doing right now. This is actually much easier than that one. So when you're playing a single character, it's a lot easier to just die. Just happens. Things will just get you. But also, the maintenance on stuff is a lot easier.
Cool.
So, it has ups and downs. Like, you might notice that it makes me pause, and you can't see the pop. I don't think you guys can see the pop-up window when I go to cast a spell, but every time I do, it actually pauses and asks me to who I want to cast it on. When you're with just one party member, it only casts it on them. It's immediate. That part is way easier, way faster. So in many ways, playing a single character is a more snappy and responsive, just streamlined gameplay style. But it has its limitations, but by far the majority of my play of this game was done with solo characters and multiplayer scenarios, so I am more than a little versed with that.
Cool.
So, if anyone's interested in that getting off the ground, you can look forward to that in the future, but it is certainly going to happen after I'm sorted with this, because this is enough of that. What's interesting is that it takes less rooms to pin on average for the same level, but the runs go faster with multiple party members, so it balances itself out. We're gonna go through this wall. We'll get some more of the mapping done over here. We'll deal with these death end dragons. They are still pretty dangerous though. Trying not to approach them with distance because giving them free turns is not a good choice. That was just two of them. Look at how injured we got just here. They didn't even breathe for some of their turns. Getting our levels up of resist will be a key part to having an easier time going forward, but it's all a balancing act. Life, the game, everything. You really do have to pick your own adventure in this world. You're are gonna pin really fast here though, so don't expect this area to be done quick. We have both tarantulas and poisonous thorn groups and lots of really high density experience groups. Everything's pretty good. This used to be one of the top end game levels because you don't have anything extremely dangerous to deal with on this fort usually. But that could have changed. Like, I'm not assuming this is going to be some things were changed in Ascension and Revenge of the Tavern Keeper that I'm not really sure about. It's one of these guys. These guys are some of the end game style mages. Trusted in our ability to power them down, and it worked. We did take some good damage though. I think if they focalized on one character and all cast the right element, it could be a problem. Yeah, this is a stud square for sure. I knew it, because they're usually 2 floors deeper.
Cool.
We are getting some new stuff, hopefully. Oh yeah, you're pinned. You're ultra pinned. Do we want to just roll around till everyone's pinned because we're exploring? Alright, we'll do that. We'll shuffle people around and let them all experience as best they can. I like how small these guys are now. They're hilarious. They used to be like the Wraith model. Having them be little midget guys is actually pretty funny to me. So don't feel like that has actually like lengthened our journey greatly. Like that's only gonna mean we're gonna wander around for like another couple of rooms. Pretty much just the paladin up front is the only one away. Get enough experience, but oh, we do not want to mess with these. What are you? Yeah, we don't have to fight them. They're not immune like the sporing fungi, but that's a lot of slimes and we don't need to deal with it. So we're not gonna. At least slimes are usually pretty friendly. They're not as likely to initiate groups. Like if we're in a group like this, they're even less likely to. They get like intimidation like rolls or whatever it is for like whether they want to run or join you or a few other things. I'm perfectly fine with them just deciding to just like chill out in the corner. The only thing that they're going to give us is high level potions, and that's probably just gonna be like elven wines or something like that. We got to the bottom left corner at least, so we'll start moseying up the side. We got a little bit more in us before we are pinned, it looks like. I mean, the middle looks big and scary, but it's just gonna be a bunch of demons and dragons, so it's just another volcanic area like the corner. It's cool in its own right, but like it'll be easy to sort out. All these little rooms on the sides, that's where all the more fiddly exploration is. Oh, you're anti-magic? Okay. This is what it says in the tin. They're definitely a little stronger for these are not like the other. Look at this freaking experience. That was insane. But didn't pin that character. Oh, it's a stud group? Interesting, they're a deeper monster. I like it. That's a new addition, I think. I don't remember that group. So I like there being tougher snakes, actually. The snakes kind of were a little lackluster in the base game, to put it mildly. Oh, that's cute, an art of being. Oh, that's right, we determined that the way to the next floor was probably through this left side. Yeah, unfortunately, they were much stronger enemies than we were ready for. So, fortunately, we got some options. We can cast spells. We made sure we had another reviver. Let's actually get revive on our list. What I'm gonna do... Wow, I'm gonna let Oni come rock their world. They can't hurt me. Not very much. Do a little bit to us.
Hello there. Ugh. Hello there.
Alright, let's start sorting this out. So you can cast resurrect. So let's put that on our list. in our party. And you can resurrect the other one because your spells are going to regenerate. Well, as you can see, it was worthwhile to add more friends in to the group. Let's get retooled up a bit. Don't worry, I know we need to heal up too. We're not done. We're gonna keep exploring. As you can see, I thought I could just deal with it. It was not as easy as that. But we did have contingencies in place. As you can see, Oni was largely impervious to what they had going on. So... anything else we need from them? Nope. We all flying, we all doing this. Okay, let's heal up for this adventure. See, everything's fine till it's not. It's okay. Part of the experience. It's called disaster recovery. So the reason why that was so problematic is because of fire resistance, if you're wondering. Our fire resistance is not sufficient for what they had going on. If I had been casting Word of Death, it would have been easier. Oh, tarantulas. Okay, let's pin out. Pin out everyone. Yeah, those archdevils are no joke. Oh, you're anti-magic, of course. Alright. Did that not pin you out, by the way? Nope, not quite. Okay. I noticed that it didn't give me a pinned message, so... okay, that's fine. We're close. And we continue. These are actually the same ice dragons from that weird spot in the middle of that big room, a couple floors above. This is their normal floor. They are from just a couple floors deeper than that point. One of these is a secret door. Yep. Yep, one more room will pin us. Hello, ogres. We've got a 4-way pin situation going on. Fantastic. Let's stick at him. We got good mapping done. That floor's rough. And we'll level up. We'll continue moseying our way through. Oh, there's a new... This is where the quest is for Paladin. So it's at level 152. You have been assigned the required level 152 quest for this guild. Johann is waiting for you. He beams broadly and greets you warmly. With God's blessing in my not inconsiderate experience, you have completed your apprenticeship and handled the real world with aplomb. One more test awaits you, however. You will now gain entry to the final test of a Paladin's spirit and resolve. Remember, 1 up, 2 north, 1 east. Prove your worth, and you may yet advance. You must complete your special training. So let's write that down. Let's not have a bad time. So we might need to know that. So put that on a little piece of paper. Off to the side. So it says, is that minus 1 up? Oh, I'll just write down what it says. Exactly how it says it. It says 1 up, 2 north, 1 east. I assume that this will matter when we get there, and it says prove your worth and you may yet advance. So we're gonna put that down for that. And yeah, we're gonna take care of that next time. Because I am going to take a short break, and then we will return. But I am going to go find out what these items that we got were. This is the higher level shield that we're not quite ready for with this character. Although he can wear it, our Oni on the corner. I think he already has one though. We'll empty out all this other nonsense and go back and look at that weapon. See what we got. Axe, it's an axe. Okay, War Axe of Sen. Look at this, the level requirements on this thing. That's crazy. So it is a two-handed item, has a 4.5 multiplier for damage, 5 strength, 5 con, 5 dex, 4422. It has 6 swings, has critical hit level 5, and beheads enemies. Yeah, that is definitely a war axe, alright. Damn, that thing is crazy. I mean, the guild told me about the sword this guy has, but look at what he was holding in his pocket. They never mentioned the frickin' war axe of Sen. That's crazy. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I will take a break. Maybe we'll return. Maybe I'll take a longer break than that. But I will see you in a few moments. For anyone that's watching, because you'll just be looking at the next video. Catch you later. Bye-bye for now.